Perhaps pews? Ooh. What was that, Jeff?
Hey everybody, it's The Shape, and we're still on a roll. I just want to thank you guys. I want to thank the person that emailed me, that they emailed to look into this Nukes Top 5 video, because there were some really fake clips in this video. And they're going to be really fun to dive into, dissect, and do what we do, destroy. Am I right? There will be a secret word in this video, okay? Also, real quick, I want to thank you guys for everybody giving well wishes to Mama Shape. She's hanging in there, still healing. Long road to recovery. Broke both bones in her forearm and crushed her wrist, so had surgery, and she's healing. But really, I appreciate you guys a whole bunch for asking. And she does too. She read all the comments. So thank you guys for that. I truly appreciate it. Let's keep this boat afloat. Let's get this bad boy going, shall we? Now, one can only hope that YouTube doesn't copyright claim or allow this video to be copyright claimed, because every time I do a video on Nukes Top 5, even though I change the music that Nukes uses, they copyright claim it. So I changed the music completely, YouTube, so don't mess me up. Now let's take a look at our first clip, our investigator, and see what he's up to.
Investigators Hiro and Tomo vow to spend the night and explore the infamously haunted house. Eventually, the two guys decide to split up. Hiro goes back to the car and Tomo stays to explore the second floor. As Tomo looks around, he finds an opening into the attic.
Tomo experiences odd interference when attempting to phone Hiro. And did you see it? Tomo doesn't notice, but someone appears to be peeking out at him from a dark doorway.
See, that's the thing for me. You gotta take them at their word that there was nobody there with these people. Like the woman peeking around the doorway there. We gotta take, well, nobody else was there except Hiro and Tochi, whatever his name is. You have to take their word for it. But when they show you the figure, and I'll zoom in on it and brighten it, it doesn't look translucent like a ghost should be. I mean, how do we know that's just not a regular woman?
Tomo heads down to the car to meet up with Hiro. Once he's gone, a static camera captures something absolutely terrifying.
Now, obviously, I can't look at this and say this is not a ghost. But when I look at it and brighten the image and everything, I can tell you that you cannot see through this person. So, being a ghost would imply that you're made of energy, right? That looks like a real person because they're not transparent. I mean, that's the way I see it. I mean, look at that. Comment below what you guys think. See, that just looks like a lady peeking around the doorway. A homeless woman, or just somebody they know, or somebody they paid to be there. That don't look like a spirit to me. Yes, granted, this ain't a debunk, which I'll give you one here in a couple clips for now. A couple of them. But yeah, I mean, we just have to take their word for it. There's a spirit.
On TikTok user Tim Saver says that he's a new night guard at an undisclosed facility. On night 11 at his new job, he leaves his phone to record the abandoned unit as he makes his rounds. An hour into the recording, this happens.
Why are we so blind to see that? Rest in peace, Coolio. Man, RIP for Coolio in the comments, people. Oh, and just as we're doing this, I wonder how many people are going to make a video where they're speaking to Coolio. Huh? How many? Comment below who you think would be the first one to do it. I'm thinking Hope. Might be Huff. Maybe make a poll, because that's the type of people they are, but I'm getting off track. Now, here in this clip you're about to see, there's a panel that goes to the roof or above the ceiling that he's getting ready to go up because it's moving on its own. Let's check it out.
Gathering his courage, Tim grabs a ladder and climbs up into the attic to investigate.
Now, we're going to zoom in on that clip really good, and the whole point of the clip is they're saying, well, you can see the hand, right? But you can't see the body, and you should see a body there, right? Because the only thing is that cross member beam, which shouldn't block a body. But keep in mind, he come up through a panel to get into the ceiling, attic area. How do we know there's not more panels, or somebody just reach their arm up to that other spot and hold it and then pull their arm right back down through the ceiling? Now, these ceilings have panels all over the place. So, in this animation, who's to say they couldn't put their arm up like this through a panel and pull it back down?
TikTok user Brianna's videos are mostly dedicated to her favorite pastime, free diving in the beautiful waters just off the coast of sunny Florida. One afternoon, Brianna is going for a routine dive when she captures something truly chilling. Now,
Brianna's doing those shallow dives where you can dive underwater. You have no air tank. You have, I think it's called a snorkel or whatever that thing's called. Anyway, what I'm saying is she's not deep underwater. And I want you to look at the format. I want you to look at what she's swimming in, the structure. I want you to look at it first as she's swimming through it. I want you to pay attention to the clip, listen with your ears, and then we'll talk about it. Now, before I tell you what happened, I'll tell you what I first thought before, when I first saw the clip. I thought she just simply made 2 passes through that tunnel thing, that structure, and in one pass she screamed and knocked on the sides, and then she swam through it again and simply took the sound and overlaid it. But there's a problem with that. Let's look.
This time, there are no screams. Brianna is baffled by what just happened and posts her strange unexplained video to TikTok.
Now, people then, when they first saw this, they accused her of overlaying the sound, like I said, what I thought in the initial part. But she's got a GoPro 5 or something, and it's on the GoPro. Now, I don't know if you can take whatever out, plug it into a laptop, edit it, and then put it back in the GoPro and play it like that. I don't know if you can or not, but if you can't, then she caught what she caught for real. We'll see what she's got to say.
GoPro 7 works perfectly fine for me. I cracked it a little bit, but I use the case. Definitely not a voiceover though, so I'm going to show you the video straight out of my GoPro. Just like right there. So you can hear.
Like I said, I don't know that much about GoPros or anything, so if she says that, I'm going to take her word for it. But what I'm not going to take her word for is the fact that she may not have been the only one swimming that day, for one. She could have, A, run across a drowning victim and didn't know it and couldn't see her, but I find that hard to believe. Or B, it was a ghost underwater. Or C, she had somebody with her on the outside of that structure while she's swimming through the inside. Huh? You know what? Let's take a look, and I want to point out a few key points. Now, somebody was on the outside of this structure. They had multiple places they could see her swimming to know exactly where she's at. This first spot would be the entrance, the spot she came through. And then the next spot would be on down. There's a spot above her head as well, like a hole. And then on the side of this tunnel type thing, there's multiple holes like this one right here. And then you got the exit as well. So they would know exactly where she's at.
This next creepy video was uploaded to TikTok by Rosie B from Michigan. The home security clip shows Rosie's daughter strolling through the kitchen when the toddlers...
Now the next clip is so scary. I'm just kidding. It's a child who may or may not have an imaginary friend or a ghost. Could be a ghost. Now, you're going to see something really freaky. Kinda, but not really. But let's just watch what happens and tell me what you see, because I see a child with an imaginary friend and she's doing that with her own arms. I don't see anything pulling on anything that she's holding in her hand, but let's take a look. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of this clip, let's just look at the face she gave her imaginary friend one more time, because that's probably the most adorable thing I've ever seen in my life. That face she makes alone is funny. Now, we'll slow the clip down, but to me, it 100% looks like the girl is doing that herself. It doesn't look like some invisible apparition is pulling on that stuff. It looks like she's holding it out and doing it herself. Let's take a look and slow it down. Now to me, it doesn't look like something's pulling. To me, it looks like she's pushing it. Check this out. Now what's the Lunchbox said? It looks like she's shaking it and pushing it. To me, comment below. Nope, not buying that one. I mean, that looks like she's doing it herself 100%. That, I have no doubt in my mind. And you'd probably think, Shape, what could look more fake than that? This next clip.
These days, Ye Olde King's Head still serves as a hotel, bar, and restaurant and is now owned by Harry Achilleos. As a paranormal enthusiast himself, Harry has a grand plan for Ye Olde King's Head Hotel. Harry, along with his friends and fellow paranormal investigators Brett and Danny, installed 16 live cameras to record multiple angles of every room in the hotel. Yes, Kirsty is filled with fear when she is asked to investigate the hotel's cellar all by herself. While she's down there alone in the dark, something happens that scares the living out of her.
Now, real quick, before we look at the ghost clip, that many people, those people owning a motel with all these cameras set up, could fake the paranormal themselves, you know, to bring tourists and people wanting to investigate this place to make money. But that being said, I just wanted to get that out there, and you're probably like, well, no, duh, Shape. Thank you, Captain Obvious. But hey, I had to say it.
But then something happens that they just can't explain.
Now, I wanted you to hear the clip because obviously you hear that, whatever that is, that big furnace or whatever's causing that big loud sound before the sound that scares her happens. Whatever it is, it sounds like it's shaking and vibrating the whole place anyways. And they say it was a hatch door or something that slams. Who's to say whatever that machine is that's running it and cause it to vibrate and do that? That being said, I want you to watch what happens when the lady runs out of the room. Because she didn't hit this. There's an air tank behind her and it's vibrating itself. And I think it's caused by the machinery.
Whoa, what was that though?
After looking closer, I can see the other canisters aren't moving, just the one. So now when she's standing there, you can't see the air tank behind her, so I don't know if when she moved it caused it, like the wind off of her hauling ass, you know, made it start rocking or whatever. But what I do know is whatever kind of machinery that is that's making that sound is definitely causing vibrations throughout that. You can hear it. You can just hear it. Like waves of vibrations. So, and it gets worse.
On a different night, guests Janine and Lottie are investigating the hotel's most haunted room, Room 5. This room is said to be a hotspot for paranormal activity, and it seems like the two women might not be alone in there.
Hello, children. We've got a toy here. You can change the lights on it. What was that? What was that? Please tell me that was them. Next door? I don't know if it's them next door or not.
Now, of course, the thumping sounds are interesting, as if somebody off camera couldn't do that though, but that's not what this clip caught my attention. Like I said, I got an email about this clip, and thank you. You know you are. This next clip is very, very interesting. And what Nukes have to say about it, we're going to find out both right now in just a second. Did you catch it? Comment below if you did, because that is the most embarrassing catch of that lady I've ever, you know, oh, you know what? I ain't gonna say anything. Comment below what you saw. Man, I love it. I truly love it. Let's watch it again. Watch her arm. Her arm drops, and then the doll drops. You literally see this lady pull with her arm a string or a thread or something, but you can see it's her arm pull and this doll fall, like right on camera. I don't know if she meant to be, thought she was like angled more out of the way and they just didn't catch it or what, but you can literally see her, the doll, reacting to her arm movement. If that ain't a bust, I don't know what is a bust. And I'm curious to know what Nukes had to say about that part. After zooming in, watch her arm. And the evidence don't lie. I mean, that's right there, plain as day. Let's see what Nukes had to say about that particular clip.
And a doll sitting on a shelf in the corner falls to the floor all on its own.
So Nukes said it fell in the floor, all of it on its own. Is that what you guys seen? Because that's not what I saw. I saw her arm pull down and I saw a doll fall. Nukes didn't question it. Didn't question it. See, and people ask me what my problem with these. Well, why do you got a problem with these top 5 channels? Because they promote fake garbage. And they don't do their due diligence to check anything out, verify anything. Because if they did, they wouldn't have much content to work with, now would they? They're just as bad, in my opinion, as the people that fake it themselves. But people say, yeah, but he says it's up to you to believe it or not. Doesn't matter, he's still promoting it. Now obviously you can see the arm pull down the same time the doll falls. However, it's an easy buzz. What would have been funnier is if this happened.
Weeks later, and the scariest moment ever captured inside the hotel occurs when a staff member is simply locking up the downstairs bar for the night, as the guests are all in their rooms.
Now this is the same motel coming up, or hotel, or whatever it is, that paranormal place. Like I said, them people that own it's got all the cameras set up. And this clip, you're going to hear a baby cry. I'm only going to show it once because there's not much to debunk there. You hear a baby cry off camera. That could be a real baby off camera crying, or a doll. And we never know because they're just saying, oh, well, I heard it, but there's nothing in here. We wouldn't know the difference, right? All right.
South Haven, Michigan resident Jennifer says she was at a festival when she noticed something very odd going on in the sky above her. She grabbed her phone and started to record.
Alright, everybody sees me walking. I'm walking. Look. This plane isn't moving. It's not moving. But it sounds like it's moving.
I'm no aviator expert, but I can tell you with 100% certainty that this happens. This isn't a glitch in the Matrix. This actually happens to planes. Okay, this happens to birds. I can't describe exactly. I ain't no expert on drag, lift, and propulsion and all that stuff, but here's a channel right here. You can go check it out, and they explain it perfectly. This is a natural phenomenon. There's nothing paranormal.
Now, Jennifer claims that the small airplane had been flying in the same spot not moving at all, for hours before she finally decided to grab her phone and record the video.
Think about what Nukes just said right there. If you had to go back and listen, he said that this lady said it had been flying in place for hours. That plane would have ran out of fuel first off and fell to the ground, but that's not what I'm even debating. She found it so fascinating that she waited a couple of hours as it was still in midair to come out and film it. Why would you wait that long? If you thought it was cool or awesome looking, why didn't you go do it? How do you know how long it was out there? And if you did know, why did you wait so long to record it?
Set out to investigate rumors of an allegedly haunted church deep in the woods of Bedham, England, the Old Mission Church. The brick and stone church was built in 1880 and served as both a school for local children and as a place for Sunday worship for the town inside the church. As they begin, Jeff and Phil set up multiple static cameras. Now, the Ghost Tech guys always try to stay calm during their paranormal investigations, because as they continue to ask questions, they capture something truly bizarre on multiple cameras.
Spoiler alert, they capture like a shadow figure on all the cameras. As if you couldn't have one person off camera to walk in this one spot to cast a shadow in the middle of that place where they're at. Big deal.
A black shadow moves in between Phil and I, and it is captured on all of our cameras.
Perhaps pews?
Ooh.
Perhaps pews?
Ooh.
I mean, they make it like it's more legitimate because of the fact more cameras caught it. But if there's blind spots there anyways. If you got one thing that can cast a shadow on all three of those walls, you can be off camera and do that. It's not that big a deal. And no difference in this shadow. All I seen was somebody walk and cast a shadow on the opposite wall, like they're walking through an entrance or by a window. That's all I seen. You can even see the shadow go across the ground. But they said it was just a shadow figure, you know. See, and that's the way it's always going to be, no matter what, how good your debunk is. And like, I didn't debunk this. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like when I showed you the girl that pulled the doll down with the string. Now, even though that looks 100% debunked, somebody's going to say, well, what if she just moved her arm and it just so happened to be at the same time as when the doll fell? It could be strictly coincidence. Shut your mouth. Okay? No, I always welcome any argument. And I appreciate it when people are respectful. I'll comment back. You guys know that. I've talked to quite a few of you that don't agree with a lot of things I say. But, you know, it's people who truly believe in ghosts, or had personal experiences, they're never gonna not believe. No matter how much scientific validation you bring, it doesn't matter. It's a no-winner. And, you know, and I'm not saying ghosts don't exist. I'm on the fence still. But I'm sure one of these days, there's gonna be a device made that will be able to see if ghosts are there or not. They're going to make a super camera or something. Until then, we're going to have a lot of fun debating this stuff, proving it right or wrong once and for all. That being said, I love you guys and I appreciate you. I appreciate you very much. Hit that like button, by the way. Helps the algorithm. That being said, I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Y'all come back now, you hear?